back. I'm James, and today our topic is shifting. That is stance switching. It's something I've trained a lot in Savate, but it's also something that I've practiced in all of my JKD, Gen Fon training, and through a variety of the other styles that I've trained in over the years. The trick with shifting is making sure you hide it. If it's out, if it's obvious, especially if you're shifting in open space, you can end up getting caught in between stances, and that is one of the worst times to get hit. So the key becomes, how do we shift subtly? How do we shift safely? How do we make sure that we are working through these stance switches properly without getting caught in the meantime? Key is hiding it with our punches, hiding it with our kicks, and making sure that this footwork is not seen clearly and obviously. One quick example can be set up off of our rear low kick, that rear leg fouette. It can be set up any which way. Here I'll double jab, cross, throw that body hook, and then as I throw that rear leg fouette, I've shifted into southpaw. You aim to land in that good outside foot position, and now I have all of those southpaw weapons, that left straight, body kicks, and the high kicks on the open side. But once I have this angle, I want to do what I can to maintain that. So again, we'll go back to the beginning of our combination. And after I've taken that angle, I make sure to continue following that angle. You're just going to have it for a split second, so you want to try and increase that time as much as you can, so you can maximize what you can do from that open side. Now that's a very straightforward way to do that shift, but it's safe, it's subtle, it's a good way to work that kick in, land in that different stance, and then utilize that angle. And note, that combination is just for context. It can be done through any of your combinations that end in that same kick. I can just jab, rear leg fouette, and I've shifted. I can just fouette, and I've shifted. It's important not to get locked into specific combinations, and remember, it's all about the mix and match, varying your offense. Now our next one is going to come off of our defense. I'm going to use one that I've shown a few times on this channel. It's a great, straightforward defense, works throughout all of our variety of styles, and it's just pulling that leg straight back. Again, I'm keeping my posture up, keeping my hands up. I'm not letting my hands drop and my head dip forward as the leg comes back. Keeping good posture, drawing it straight back and returning it into space. Now, how am I working that into my stance switch? So, rather than pulling that leg straight back, I'm going to pull it back at a slight angle. So rather than going straight back on that line, I'm stepping out at a slight 45. Now, if you notice, that's pretty much put me into that southpaw position. So it gives me space where I can chamber and enter in that southpaw stance, fire off my strikes, continue moving along that angle, and then get back out to space. Again, once I have that angle, I want to maintain it for as long as I can, so I continue the combination while heading in that direction. Now that's two ways so far. Shifting off of that rear kick, combining our footwork and our defense to withdraw on an angle, set ourselves into stance, turn into range, and then follow up. So what else can we do? Well, we haven't covered switching on punches, so now we're going to shift on punches. There are a couple ways I like to do this. First one is going to be as follows. The boxing, in French boxing, likes to use a lot of long, straight shots. It's about driving people out to range so they're in for your kicks. So in this case, we're going to use an old Savate staple, the jab, cross, jab. But what I'm going to do is shift on that second jab. So I go 1, 2, 3. And I kick this leg back as I throw what becomes a left straight. So again, good extension, pivot all the way through, shift. Now I'm immediately in that opposite stance. That new left straight has extra power and a little bit extra reach, so it tends to land clean. They'll be ready for that 1, 2, but that left straight comes in long. It's usually going to be unexpected. And again, I'm back in my position where I want to be. I have all these great weapons. Again, open side kick. That can be to the liver. Again, kicking with the toes. You can angle a little bit further. Again, kicking with the toes, aim for that solar plexus. You have that clean, open side high kick. And one tricky one that I'm a big fan of is using my lead leg and throwing a lateral rever or a hook kick. That way it comes, swipes around the rear hand. It's a really tricky one, catches people unsuspecting, especially if you've just shifted. That's off of that jab, cross, left straight. This next one is going to be shifting with our rear hook. Again, mileage may vary on how you want to set it up. It can be all off of a boxing combination. I can shift my way into range, fire off my punches, but whatever my setup is, I finish off or I progress to shifting on this right hook. So I'm switching my stance completely in place. It's a pretty explosive punch, so you don't want to do it over and over again. You can tire yourself out if you keep relying on those techniques. But it's a strong shot. That outside hook comes really hard, and it's a great way to quickly hop into that southpaw stance. Now that's a few of the many ways you can use strikes to more subtly and safely set up your stance switches. In any case, questions, comments, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.